3 ways to add to your drum patterns to make them more interesting and add more life to them. So let's say we have this drum pattern here. It's a simple kick. We have a tom, a snare, and then a second kick there. So that gives us this. So the first thing you do is simply add more of an existing element or an existing drum sound. So here, since I already had a kick, I'm just going to add in some more kicks, and let's hear how that sounds. So already gives a little more feel, a little more energy, a little more bounce. The next way is you can introduce a new drum sound, and here you want to make it pretty distinct. So here I introduced a hi-hat pattern towards the end here. Let's take a listen. So pretty distinct there. And then what you can do as a little bit of a bonus, you can combine those two. So here in this pattern, I have those kicks that I added and the hi-hats. And lastly, you can add another pattern right after your existing pattern. So your second beat, your second bar, sorry. So here in this first bar here, these first 4 beats is the first pattern I showed. And then the second part here is going to be, I'm going to use the concepts, the first and second concepts. Here I added those hi-hats I showed earlier. I didn't add the same kick pattern. Instead, I added the second kick, a few more of that alternate kick. And then I introduced an alternate snare here on top of the tom that I had earlier. So just adding a little bit more of the elements that I already had to flesh that out. And it's going to come right after the first pattern I had. So that's gonna add some interest. So let's take a listen. This was actually based off of pattern 47 in the Boom Bap Drum Guide. You can get that at midimighty.com. So check that out. And try to use these tips in your next drum patterns. I know often we just lay down a drum pattern and go, but try adding a little bit of interest by adding a few more sounds, introducing new sounds, and then adding an alternate pattern.